When I was named the 2020 Connecticut Teacher of the Year, I had no idea the upheavals that 2020 would bring. The year was supposed to be full of travel and adventures and learning opportunities. It was supposed to be fulfilling and rewarding and fun. Well, most of the fun was canceled. But I was able to attend a conference out in California, having no idea that a few weeks after returning, schools would close and I would spend the rest of the year learning how to teach from home, trying to figure out how to be a teacher of the year from behind a computer screen. Heck, forget teacher of the year. I was trying to figure out just how to be a good teacher without a classroom in which to connect with my kids. During those difficult weeks and months, I kept reflecting on what I'd learned in California. I had the great fortune to learn from a number of outstanding educators, but some of the most inspiring lessons came from Rodney Robinson, the 2019 National Teacher of the Year. He reminded us that when facing the many challenges that educators do, we must remember our why, and our why must always be our students, who they are, what they need, and what they deserve in order to excel and succeed. I became a teacher to help students become socially conscious, compassionate citizens who think critically about the world around them. I became a teacher because I know there is power in youth to change our society for the better. So, as I contemplate what we will face in the upcoming school year, as I navigate my own fears and anxieties, I am choosing to focus on my why. These students here are among my why. Their resilience, kind hearts, perseverance, insights, and emerging wisdom has much to teach us. So let's listen to them. And let us go forward into this new school year, whatever it may look like, remembering why it is absolutely necessary to teach what's hard, to provide a truly equitable education for all, and to empower our youth to find and use their voices.
Hello to all the students and teachers across Connecticut. As much as we all enjoy time off for winter and April breaks, I think most of us can agree that these few months away from school has been a little too much. Sure, wearing PJs to online classes and waking up late was comfortable, but missing out on memories and in-school experiences is something I didn't know I'd miss so much. In the time away from school, I have realized the importance and gift of public education. Zoom classrooms just aren't the same as face-to-face collaboration and interactions that we experience at school. I look forward to the first day this fall to finally walk back into our halls and to take in everything I missed. I missed the busy halls, familiar faces, and even the 20 minutes of advisory that seemed like such a small part of my day. I can say for certain that I will not complain about school as much as I did before, because in reality, school is part of my stable routine. I'm extremely grateful to Connecticut teachers and to everyone who helped the transition from in-class to online learning this year. Hopefully, we as students can reflect back on this time to remind ourselves that school is a vital part of our growth as individuals. And in reality, we are part of making history. Let's keep learning and thriving, Connecticut.
If you are anything like me, the closure of schools made me realize how much I had invested in going to school every day. If you're also anything like me, you probably gave yourself a quarantine haircut that you're definitely regretting by now. But back to school. Even through the bad days, the consistent routine and having somewhere to go every day where I could see people that I loved was a constant encouragement to stay positive. Situations are ever changing, and it feels like there's so much up in the air right now. But we've all seen worse, and most importantly, gotten through worse. With a statewide network of administrators, teachers, and students remaining positive and persevering through it all, we can adapt to the challenge. And just like these quarantine haircuts, some patience and positivity will restore us to normalcy.
Hello, students and teachers watching this. My name is Rebecca Benoit, a student at Woodland Regional High School, and I'm sure we can all agree that this year was something we've never imagined witnessing. In the year 2020, the world will be forced to acknowledge the changes our society is undergoing. From the death of Kobe Bryant, devastating wildfires in Australia, and a global pandemic, to the response of Black Lives Matter movement to the horrific murders of more unarmed Black men, women, and children. We teenagers are seated in front row of a roller coaster of instability. But when has any sad news stopped us from working harder to move forward? We're living in a world where we continue to grow and prosper, naturally standing at our own 2 feet after devastating news. This year was something unprecedented, but we must not cower and hide in its wake. Yes, we've been met with serious challenges, but we are a generation of strong, hardworking youths that won't let anything push us down. We're stronger than any obstacles that come our way, and we are much stronger when we are united. I don't know about you, but I'm about done with the mess we have to deal with. There are many saying that it'll take time, trust the process. However, it took our great grandparents, our grandparents, our parents, and now even our generation to say enough is enough. The older generation has handed us a dying planet, a broken economy, and a systematically racist country. We are the ones having to deal with the leftovers, the burden, and the pain. If we have learned anything from these last few months, it's that a lot needs fixing, and we must work together to find a solution. Ignorance is no longer an option in the world of mass media. It is your duty to find out the wrongs and the rights, and it's your choice whether to act upon it. But most importantly, we must come together, learn, admit our flaws, and fix them.
Raise your hand if at some point of your school years you complain about too much homework, you were stressed about a test, or simply having to wake up way too early to catch the bus. Now, raise your hand if you would give up anything for a chance to walk the halls of your school again, for a chance to work on a group project in your Spanish class, or for a chance to have a face-to-face discussion with one of your teachers. Most of us would choose to have things go back to what our normal used to be. Throughout this pandemic, what we realized is there is no substitution for in-classroom learning. There's no equivalent to relationships we develop or friendships we form. School teaches us way more than quadratic equations or chemistry. At the very minimum, it provides us with guidance, teaches us confidence, and creates opportunities for us to grow, find our voice, learn, and affect change. Even though the fall of 2020 might look different from what we're used to, let's stay strong. We are all in this together, and we have the potential to take what we've learned from this and make the future a better place.
Let's get one thing straight. I love learning. In quarantine, I spend every minute of every day learning something new. I'm writing, reading, calculating, but I am also gardening, drawing, and baking, things I don't have time to do in a typical school day. Because I learn so much, I have incredible respect and gratitude for my teachers and the education that I am so fortunate to have, especially because many girls, like me, around the world are not so fortunate to have it. However, that does not mean that our education system doesn't need some work. In school, all of the decisions are made for me. I can't take drawing or cooking or singing classes, or even pass-fail classes, without worrying that they boost my GPA, which would look bad on our transcript for college admissions. The pressure to take college-level classes doubles our homework, which is in most cases unnecessary. And furthermore, that constant stress takes a toll on our mental health. Students choose their electives based on the number that class will get them, because grades are our primary indicator of success. I can make decisions, but my decisions are limited because our system backs students into a corner. Despite the empathy of many teachers, no changes are made. All in all, I'm missing out on a healthier, well-rounded education because being successful requires being statistically appealing. Decisions are also made for me based on what I wear. Schools have made it a habit to prioritize revising their dress code legislation every year to further limit specific things women can wear, instead of educating their students to treat each other with respect. If distance learning has taught us anything, it's that students can learn and teachers can teach no matter what they're wearing. Punitive dress codes are likely to disproportionately affect students who come from lower income households, because affordable, easily accessible clothing is less likely to fit properly and last a longer period of time. Sending girls home to change their clothes tells them that their education matters less than that of the boys you're worried about looking at her. Is the interruption to her education really worth it when teachers can educate boys and men not to objectify women? Teachers have the unique ability to reach the next generation, who will shape society for everyone after them, and that society should be one of gender equality. So when we go back to our typical school day, let's think about what's really important. This has been a time for inner reflection and an opportunity to fully realize what ideals of success we uphold and how that affects the way our schools function. If we value leadership, then really help students lead. Don't limit their voices based on the system, because the system itself encourages conformity. Now is the time to reimagine our school system so that every student, regardless of gender, race, sexual orientation, and income, can receive a healthy, well-rounded, equitable education while being able to explore themselves and their own interests in a safe, supportive environment.
Hello, Throughout the time that I've spent at home distance learning, I've realized that school is a lot more than just a place to learn. School is where we socialize and exercise, school is where we leave our comfort zone, and school is where we grow as people. I'm proud of my classmates for being able to persevere through this, and I'm grateful to our teachers as well for continuing to give us their all, not to mention the countless others who deserve our thanks in supporting us through this unprecedented experience. In the future, I think we will look back on this time and it will make us think about how grateful we are that we can be in school. Like many others, I can't wait to get back. I want to continue to lead my class, to experience the milestones, and to embrace all of the triumphs and challenges that come with being in school. But until then, we need to keep working hard and we need to stay safe. Let's be strong for our community and continue to look out for one another as we have done such a great job with already.
During these trying times, we have realized how essential schooling is to us. We are provided with opportunities that are unmatched. Not only do we get to learn about the changing world around us, we are able to socialize with our peers, which we have learned is vital to our well-being. Despite the challenges of schools being closed, we have learned how to become as close as possible while staying farther apart than ever before. We have shown that we can persevere through difficult times and come out stronger than we went in. As Roger H. Schuller once said, "Tough times don't last, tough people do." We, the students of Connecticut, are powerful examples of that. By staying connected through this difficult time, we've proved that we can get through rough patches, and we've learned that we can only do it together, because together we are stronger. As we approach the new school year, let's keep all of these lessons in our minds. Let us learn from this experience how important it is to care for one another, to think of the needs of the community and not just ourselves. For our future endeavors, we must continue to stay connected in order to remain a strong community of students and educators. We must remain strong and keep others in mind like we have.
Hello, students. No one would have predicted that drive-by birthday parties and online calls would consume society as a new normal. I get it. You're frustrated because this is one of those tough chapters in your life that you just want to skip over. It doesn't seem very important in the moment. And sure, times are tough, but we are overcoming this barrier together, and from it, we're going to learn something. I have realized that school has become such a foundational part of my life and really connected me to amazing figures. But who says we can't stay connected? Call a friend, reach out to a teacher, and remember, from this point forward, to capture every moment. Normalcy can escape us in a heartbeat, so we really need to take advantage of every opportunity we're given, and do it.
Hello, fellow students. I think we can all agree that we've never been so desperate to wake up by 6 and head to our first block class by 7:30 in our entire lives. Especially being a rising senior, I really hope it'll happen again this coming August. But of course, there is a strong chance that we're going to have to face some of these challenges again in the near future. And so while it's been said so often that I'm sure I'm going to sound like a broken record, we truly need to find and think about the silver linings within this period of hardship. Try to do things to ensure that when this is all said and done, you aren't left wondering, how did I make the best of it? Instead, do something you're proud of now. Find a passion, find a cool new hobby, or maybe just make some changes to your lifestyle that keep you moving forward and keep you learning, not only about yourself, but about the world. I know that together we will all come out of this stronger. No matter what happens this year, please keep your heads up and stay healthy and strong. The world needs this strength from our generation to truly become a better place. Thanks.
We often find that we only realize the value of something when it is gone. Although my formal high school education didn't necessarily disappear with the emergence of the COVID-19 pandemic, it was modified drastically. And to be truthful, I found myself dreaming about 5 more minutes in a real classroom with my chatty peers. I even wish I could hear the despicable tone of my alarm just one more time, because that meant one more day in school. I miss being able to see my teachers write down their daily objectives. I miss being able to apply my newly acquired knowledge to critical thinking problems. And I even miss having tests. I began to despise looking at my Chromebook for virtual lessons, but in no way did I become unmotivated to learn. I came to appreciate my teachers' efforts to deliver daily lessons, and I understood how important it was to remain enthusiastic for them. We must acknowledge and be mindful that this is a unique and new experience for everyone. Everyone was forced to adjust and adapt their lifestyles completely due to the pandemic. However, there were also individuals who went above and beyond to make this time a little bit comfortable for not only themselves, but others. Perhaps they were a teacher who bought extra appliances so that their students could write down the notes with them, or they were a student who requested extra time with their teacher because they didn't understand a concept. If we end up having to learn remotely again next year, hopefully their efforts will inspire others to do the same. Considering others' needs, recognizing that we're all in this together, that's what it's all about. Because if we are willing to understand one another's struggles, especially during a difficult time, we will be able to accomplish a whole lot more together than we could individually. We have to think about how we can benefit the greater good, because we can definitely all do a little bit more to help each other out in a time of need. And when we have the courage and determination to do so, the end result will prove that just a little bit of effort from everyone goes a long way.
This quarantine really makes you realize how much you take things for granted. You don't realize how much you appreciate something until it's gone. I live near my high school, and once in a while I'll drive by the school to visit it. It looks like a ghost town. Empty hallways, no lights on, bare parking lots. For instance, I miss my friends' hugs so much. I didn't notice how much I loved them until I was stuck standing 6 feet away from my best friends and couldn't welcome them with a huge embrace. I miss the long lines of buses at the front of the school and seniors walking into school twirling their key lanyards in their hands. I miss the happening hallways in the morning where all the friend groups are communing in their own little circles. I miss the crowded staircases during passing time. I miss my aching back after wearing my stuffed backpack all day. I miss sitting in class next to my friends instead of only seeing them on my computer screen. I miss my teachers and the school's friendly security guards. Our school closure has been hard, and I've realized how much I have to miss, and for that, I'm grateful. As we get ready to return to school this year, be sure to take a moment to reflect on what you're grateful for and get excited to return to school.
It was exciting to hear the news that my fellow classmates and I will be going back to school in the fall. Through distance learning, I was able to learn much about how school and the in-person connections I make with my teachers means to me. I want to thank all the teachers around the state for such a seamless and easy switch from being in the classroom to distance learning this past March. This experience was a first for all, and the teachers and students did a fantastic job making the changes and adjustments. As I'm going into my senior year, I look forward to playing sports, seeing my friends, and furthering my education. I am beyond thankful that I've gotten to spend the last 3 years of my high school career in such a wonderful environment, and I can't wait to experience the 2020-21 school year from the classroom, not my bedroom. Good luck to the students and staff in the upcoming school year.
School and education are so much more important than most of us realized before we were quarantined. Here in America, education is a right, but in other places, it's a privilege, yet we still take school for granted. Maybe this crisis has taught us not to do that anymore. We live in a world where we have so much information right at our fingertips, yet so much is still unknown. At school, learning is encouraged and cultivated, so we can start to feel that unknown because now, more than ever, we need to learn and understand the world around us. My message for everyone is to never take school and education for granted again, to take advantage of every opportunity you have to learn, whether it be from a teacher, a textbook page, or a social media post. Come into the next school year, no matter what it looks like, with full force, because we are the change makers of tomorrow.
Although there were many negative downfalls of the pandemic, I'm a strong believer that with every bad outcome, there is a larger good that comes with it. For starters, let's talk about how quickly and swiftly everyone adapted and rolled with the punches. Despite the challenges that educators, students, faculty, and every other citizen was facing, people found ways to accomplish what's never been done before and in turn create history. In these past couple of months, I've seen groups of people reach out and help in millions of different ways to show love and support to anyone in need, in addition to everyone helping one another. I believe that every greater appreciation for everyday life can be found in the shutdown. The saying, "You never know what you got until it's gone," fits perfectly with this pandemic. Within just a few days, we went from buzzing hallways, extracurriculars, sports and friends, to national shutdown. After learning from home during the last 2.5 months of school, there's a lot I miss. I miss the everyday chatter with my friends, the buzzing halls, all my encouraging teachers, and the after-school rush of clubs and sports, as well as the conversation with peers and staff as we passed in the halls. This pandemic was a challenge, but I saw how it opened up people's hearts and reminded us to be kind and caring to those in our community, and how it brought back an appreciation for everyday life. I hope that as businesses start opening up and we begin to think about next school year, there will continue to be a greater appreciation for the small things in life, and that we will take what we've learned and carry it with us as a reminder of how to live every day.